I am the most notorious female star in the entertainment industry. My company signed me up for a wilderness survival reality show. They insisted I act outrageously to highlight their newly signed national sweetheart, but as soon as we arrived deep in the mountains, we lost contact with the production crew. The variety show turned into a real wilderness survival. I built a log cabin in the wilderness, hunted pheasants, and caught fish, living a carefree and content life. Meanwhile, those perfect idols were reduced to cursing for survival. They fought over supplies, and their carefully crafted personas completely collapsed. Later, I found out it was all a hidden camera show, broadcast live every day. 2 million, not a penny more. 3 million, not a penny less. Balon, do you have some misunderstanding about your own position, with your reputation in the gutter? You should be grateful the company even got you this variety show. How dare you ask for such a high price? Who is responsible for my tarnished reputation? Because I refused to accompany clients for drinks, the company bought marketing to label me as arrogant. When my eyes were inflamed, they claimed I was rolling my eyes at a senior colleague. When I was harassed by a male artist from the same company and responded with a cold expression, I was accused of suppressing newcomers. Even Meng Jiangnu would be accused of maliciously damaging national architecture if she were here. I calmly took a sip of water and looked at the company executive. 2 million for just participating in a variety show is fine, but if I have to smear my own reputation to make Yue look good, that's a separate price. Probably remembering that my contract was expiring in just 2 months, the executive thought it over and finally agreed. After signing the contract for 10 days and nights in the wilderness with the company, I walked out humming a tune. I've already made up my mind. Once my contract expires, I'm leaving the entertainment industry first. I'll head to the Shazhou forest. I've already scouted out all the key spots. Just thinking about it gets me excited. Before my debut, I was a faceless wilderness survival blogger with a 1 million follower account on a certain platform. Twice a year, I go into the wilderness to do survival live streams. I built up a modest following. Later, while out shopping, I was scouted by a talent agent and spent 2 miserable years in the entertainment industry. I'd been itching to get back into it. And the reason I eagerly accepted this variety show was because it's a survival-themed program. My best friend texted me to check the trending topics. I already knew without looking. The company had started their marketing push. The news that I would be joining a variety show alongside the newly crowned national sweetheart, Yue, had already hit #1. The comments section is polarized. One side praises Yue. "Aw, my girl is amazing. She's on the same variety show as Lu Mingxin. This show seems really tough. I feel so bad for my girl. Go, Wei." A bunch of people cursing at me. This girl has such great resources. Did she save the boss's life in her past life? Seeing her really makes me sick. Can they replace her by green tea joining a survival variety show? It's a blessing if she doesn't harm others. Stay away from my baby girl. I calmly glanced at the comments, closed my eyes, and began my afternoon nap. Soon it was the day of the variety show recording. We took a helicopter to a deserted island. The production team checked our bags, confiscated all the food, and only gave each of us a bottle of water. Yue handed over her secretly stashed potato chips, bidding them a cute farewell to the camera. "Little potato chips, big sister will miss you." I quietly averted my gaze. TSK. I didn't even need to watch to know that the comments would be praising her cuteness after the broadcast. Yue is quite adept at this routine. There are 5 artists in total. Besides me and Yue, there's also Triple Crown Best Actor Lu Mingxin, and 2 boy band members, Li Qing and Fang Qing'an. Talk about a narrow road for enemies. Li Qing is the junior who harassed me without success and eventually jumped ship to another company. She's the hottest new idol right now. He came over to shake my hand enthusiastically as soon as he saw me, but I pretended not to notice and turned away. I'm going to get scolded again, but I'm about to leave the industry anyway. I don't care at all. The first task requires us to walk alone to the wilderness campsite. Our luggage is temporarily handed over to the staff. Before setting off, I still took a Swiss Army knife just in case. Lu Mingxin glanced at me when I picked up the knife, then he took a lighter. We walked for an hour, only realizing something was wrong when we reached our destination. The surroundings were overgrown with bushes, branches stretched out like claws, and the path was rugged and difficult to walk. There's no trace of anyone having been here at all. Forget about any supplies being set up. There aren't even any staff members around. Yue looked around in confusion. What's going on? Where is everyone? Li Qing, we couldn't have taken the wrong path, could we? Lu Mingxin said calmly. Make the call. This stretch of road had no follow-up cameras, so we could only contact the production team by phone. But unexpectedly, The phone had no signal at all. Yue couldn't help but curse. What the hell is this? Her usual persona is that of a good girl, pure and innocent like a little white flower. This curse word made Li Qing and Fang Qing and pause for a moment, but this Li Qing is no pushover either. He pulled a pack of cigarettes from his inner pocket, and Yue reached out as well. Give me one too. Only when it reached her lips did she realize she didn't have a lighter. Damn it, Li Qing kicked a tree in frustration. What the hell kind of place is this? Where the hell have all those people gone? I glanced at Lu Mingxin, who remained expressionless. He clearly had a lighter with him. He's a smart man. Fang Qing'an looked up at the sky. It's getting dark. Li Qing vented his anger on the tree. No one noticed the faint red light of the hidden camera in the bushes. The live stream showed Li Qing's angry face since the broadcast began 2 hours ago. 10 Days and Nights in the Wilderness has been at the top of the video popularity chart. Now, it has reached tens of millions of views. This is the true essence of the show, using hidden cameras to record the real 10 days and nights of celebrities without any staff around. The pre-broadcast confidentiality was handled exceptionally well. Not even the talent agencies were aware. Now the livestream is completely flooded with comments. Oh my god, Yue's cigarette-holding posture clearly shows she's a seasoned smoker. Yue is an adult, okay. Why can't she smoke? Haha, Li Qing's cursing is really smooth. Upstairs. Think about it carefully. If you were thrown into the wilderness, your first reaction would be to curse too. Exactly. Our Li Qing is just being genuine. Ah, Li Qing looks so cool with a cigarette in his mouth. But isn't Bei Lan being a bit too calm? I was thinking the same thing. She seems to be the calmest one here. Hey, what is she looking for? I sized up a fallen tree, then started carving into it with my Swiss Army knife. Yue looked at me with disdain. What are you doing? Looking for a place to sleep? Li Qing walked over with ill intentions. You're so weak. Do you need my help? Me? Get lost? Li Qing sneered. You still remember what happened a year ago? It was just a touch, wasn't it? Is it really that big of a deal? To be honest, I've been with women who have much better figures than you. He didn't finish his sentence before I cleaved the tree trunk in two. The Swiss Army knife spun a circle in my hand, its blade pointing straight at him. Li Qing swallowed hard, didn't speak again. The barrage exploded. Just now, what did Li Qing say? Do you all remember the hot search last year when Bei Lan suppressed Li Qing? That time it turned out to be Li Qing XSR. IU, where are Li Qing's fans? Weren't you just shouting a moment ago? Listen to what your idol has to say. Stop talking. The house has collapsed. Truly disgusting. Can we not jump to conclusions so quickly? The hidden camera's audio isn't great. He probably didn't say that. Brain-dead fans are killing me with laughter. If I were Bei Lan, I'd have dealt with him long ago. Bei Lan is really taking the fall for this one. Wait, what did I just miss? When did Bei Lan dig such a big hole? Not sure if you know a certain Billy blogger named Lan Tian, but Bei Lan's move here feels all too familiar. Where's Lu Mingxin? I found a few more pieces of palm bark to spread on the ground, then curled up inside the tree hollow. It was fairly spacious. Looking up, I saw Lu Mingxin sitting high up on a tree branch, having already woven a support surface out of vines. He glanced down and met my eyes. Not bad. I raised an eyebrow. But have you thought about what to do if it rains? It really did rain in the latter half of the night. A light drizzle began to fall, and I couldn't sleep at all. I had no idea where Yue and the others had gone. I saw Lu Mingxin climb down from the tree and stand beneath it, barely sheltered from the rain. His appearance reminded me of an awards ceremony from a year ago. I had been tricked by the company into wearing an extremely revealing dress. Lu Mingxin passed by and casually tossed his jacket to me, then stepped onto the stage to accept his award. Shining brilliantly, I looked at him and, as if possessed, asked, "Would you like to come in?" He hesitated for a moment, then walked toward me. Thank you. The tree hollow, which had originally felt quite spacious, now felt cramped with the addition of a grown man. We had no choice but to press tightly together. My neck twisted uncomfortably. I only heard Lu Mingxin whisper an apology before I could even react. I was forced to turn over, and he held me tightly from behind, our bodies fitting together perfectly. That's more like it. Indeed, this is the most comfortable position, but the scorching heat coming from behind makes it even harder to fall asleep. Damn it. At the same time, the barrage was flooded with comments. If you're not shipping them, I'm going to start. I'm totally shipping them. Deep Blue CP, I'm officially on board. Seriously, people upstairs have no standards at all. They'll ship anything. Stay away from our Mingxin. Bei Green Tea. Bei Lan, get lost. Stop trying to seduce my brother every chance you get. I'm so done with you brain-dead fans. If it weren't for Bei Lan, Lu Mingxin would be drenched right now, even as a neutral observer. I can't stand watching this. I have a feeling this show is going to blow up. It's already 2 o'clock, and there are still so many people watching. Where's that trash Li Qing? Switch the camera to him. Hey, watch your language upstairs. This might all be part of the show's effect. Don't make baseless accusations without evidence. Whether it's baseless or not, we'll know if we keep watching. I didn't sleep a wink all night. I got up at the crack of dawn the next day. I planned to retrace the route I had taken the day before, thinking that if the production team was also looking for us, we might just run into them. I didn't ask Lu Mingxin if he wanted to come along, but he wordlessly fell into step with me. We walked all the way back to where we had first landed the helicopter, but there was no sign of anyone. All we saw was a piece of paper lying under the banyan tree at the edge. It was soaked by the rain, but the handwriting was still faintly recognizable. The gist of it was that yesterday's heavy rain had damaged the program team's equipment, and many people had started to develop fevers. The situation is critical. Suspected to be an infectious disease. The patient urgently needs treatment, so everyone had to evacuate immediately. No matter what, someone will definitely come to search and rescue. In short, we have been abandoned. Absurd, but it's the truth. I only felt countless alpacas stampeding over my head. Perhaps I had been looking up at the sky for too long, as Lu Mingxin followed my gaze. What are you looking at? The sky has cleared, Lu Mingxin. Even the heavens are speechless. After accepting this fact, I decided to make the best of the situation. It's just wilderness survival. This happens to be right up my alley. My longest record was surviving alone in a primeval forest for 78 days, only stopping when I ran out of salt. Isn't this just like going home on the first day in the wilderness? The first thing to do is find a shelter that can protect from wind and rain. I led Lu Mingxin deeper into the jungle. Casually, I dug up a few grass roots from under the banyan tree and handed them to him. For starch. He paused for a moment, then took it without even frowning and stuffed it into his mouth. Only after eating it did he ask, "You're so calm, as if you're very familiar with all this." I opened my eyes wide and told a blatant lie. "Oh, I learned it from TV. I'm not even sure if what you just ate was poisonous." A faint smile curled at the corner of his mouth. "If I die from your poison, you'd feel guilty for the rest of your life, wouldn't you? No matter what you do in the future, you'll think of me. In a way, I wouldn't be at a loss." One can only say the actor truly lives up to his title. He can still put on a performance at this critical moment. Around 1 in the afternoon, I followed the terrain from last night's resting spot uphill and found a cave, but there was already someone inside. It's Li Qing and the other two. Yue Wei huddled in the corner, while Li Qing and Fang Qing'an were trying to start a fire by rubbing sticks together. I almost laughed at their technique, but I said nothing and turned to leave. Fang Qing'an spotted the wild berries in my pocket and spoke up first. "This cave is big enough, you should stay." As of now, they haven't eaten for a full day and night. I suppose they don't even know what is safe to eat. Everyone is just barely holding on. I thought it over and, with no better options, agreed to stay. I handed the picked fruit to Fang Qing'an. Li Qing also wanted to come over and take some, but I kicked his hand away. "You even care about touching this lousy fruit? The fruit you've touched as a big star must be better than this, right, you?" Li Qing's face turned ashen, meeting Lu Mingxin's gaze. He forcibly held back his anger. "Yue Wei never came over from the start." She looked at us with utter disdain. "Even dogs wouldn't eat this stuff. Someone will definitely come for us soon. You all really have no backbone." I glanced at her, somewhat amused. Backbone? Too naive. In the wilderness, anything can happen. When you're starving and freezing, what does pride even matter? Yue Wei will likely find out soon enough. That night, after Li Qing spent an hour trying to start a fire by rubbing sticks together, his hands were covered in blisters. Lu Mingxin unhurriedly took out a lighter. Li Qing was furious. "You bastard, why didn't you say you had this earlier?" Lu Mingxin glanced at him indifferently. "You didn't ask." Then he added, "Even if you had asked, I wouldn't have told you." I couldn't help but laugh out loud from behind. Early the next morning, I took my knife and prepared to go out to find food. Lu Mingxin and Fang Qing'an offered to come with me, so I taught them how to weave fish traps and placed them in the river we discovered yesterday. In the afternoon, the two of them went to check the traps we had set under the trees. I went to check the fish traps alone, never expecting Li Qing to follow me, taking me by surprise. He suddenly wrapped his arms around my waist from behind and tackled me to the ground by the riverbank. My back and shoulders slammed directly onto the sharp gravel, the pain so intense it made me gasp for air. Li Qing cursed as he tore at my clothes. "You bitch, what do you have to be so smug about? How dare you act so tough in this godforsaken place? Do you think Lu Mingshan protecting you makes you safe? I'll have my way with you now. Then drown you in the river. No one will ever find out. Ha ha ha, scared now. Beg me, you bitch, I'm afraid of your mother. I reached out, grabbed a nearby rock, and smashed it hard against his head, taking advantage of his dizziness. I used the combat skills I had memorized to flip him over directly, then, grabbing his hair, I shoved his head into the water. You scum, like you can still make money in this industry. The people who spend money on you must have their brains clogged with shit. The barrage of tens of millions of comments calling Li Qing a scumbag, trash, and worse than pigs or dogs suddenly paused for a moment. Stop cursing, stop cursing. The kid knows he was wrong. Woo woo, damn, I spent over 1,000 yuan voting for him. Feeding it to a dog wouldn't have been such a waste. Please don't insult dogs. Upstairs, I must have had my brain clogged with shit. Sister Bailon is the best. From now on, my money is only for Sister Bailon. Beat this beast to death. Damn it, I'm so pissed off. When Li Qing woke up, I had already tied him up with a rope inside the cave. Everyone had returned, and without a word of explanation, I cleaned and roasted all the fish I had caught. It was only when distributing the food that I dragged Li Qing over. The fish were caught by me, the crabs were caught by me, and the cassava was dug up by me. I'll be the one distributing the food. Does anyone have a problem with that? Lu Mingshan shrugged with a smile. Fang Qing'an also shook his head, holding a roasted cassava. I squatted in front of Li Qing and asked, "Want some?" He and Yue had been starving for 2 days, and now they were swallowing their saliva at the smell of food. Li Qing hadn't even spoken yet when Yue scrambled over on all fours. "I want to eat," I smiled. "You wait, it's not your turn yet." Until Li Qing also nodded, I spoke slowly, word by word. "Then tell me clearly, since you entered this industry, which female artists, assistants, or other people you've harassed or molested, how you harassed them, the times, places, and targets of your harassment." He paused for a moment, driven by hunger, and thought, since there aren't many people around anyway, I might as well just let it all go. Early March 2019, in the dressing room, he groped my assistant. I nodded, more than once. Right. Later, she resigned due to depression. Early January 2019, in the company elevator, Li Qing lowered his head. He groped you. Go on. At the end of July 2020, after the concert ended, I drugged a fan, and later, I continued for him. Later, she committed suicide, due to insufficient evidence. They couldn't trace it back to you. Li Qing's voice grew softer. Just now, by the river, I harassed you. I shook a finger at him. Friendly legal reminder. That's called attempted rape. The livestream viewers went wild. Holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. That assistant sister was really super gentle. Damn it, can this beast just die? I remember at the beginning of this year, Li Qing even posted a video mourning that girl who committed suicide. I'm really about to throw up. Do you really dare to sleep with your eyes open at night? Did anyone call the police? If not, I'm calling. The police have been called and the case has been accepted. After I said those words, Lu Mingshan's expression changed. He strode over, grabbed Li Qing by the collar, and dragged him out. I was taken aback. What are you doing? Lu Mingshan said without changing his expression. We ran out of fish for the trap, so we're using him as a substitute. TSK, this is a society governed by law. I glanced at Li Qing. The law won't let any beast get away. Li Qing's face instantly paled. You won't tell anyone, right? My family is very powerful. You've heard of us, haven't you? My dad has smoothed over so many things for me before. He must be sending someone to rescue me right now. I tossed the cassava to him as if feeding a dog and then ignored him. Instead, I turned my gaze to Yue, who was huddled on the other side. Having just witnessed my interrogation of Li Qing, she no longer cried out about being hungry. I picked up a crab. Want some? No, I don't eat. I shrugged. All right then. After Lu Mingshan, Fang Qing'an, and I barely filled our stomachs, we each went to sleep. Soon it was noon on the third day in the wilderness. Today I caught a 2-pound fish and gathered quite a few wild persimmons. After a full meal, I followed the usual routine and asked Yue. She couldn't hold out any longer and tearfully said she wanted to eat. I nodded. I have just one question. I stared at her, the warmth in my eyes cooling down. 3 months ago, was it you who killed my calico cat? Yue stiffened all over, glanced at Li Qing, and as if comforted, she stiffened her neck and said, so what if it was? That beast came running into my dressing room on its own. When I reached out my hand, it thought I was going to feed it and immediately came over to rub its head against me. She grew more and more excited as she spoke. I stroked its neck, so soft, as if I could snap it with just a little more force. She breathed heavily. I slowly tightened my fingers, watching it struggle in my grasp. That thrill is something no amount of awards could ever give me. I looked at her coldly. So the stray cats that disappeared near the company, you had them captured and tortured to death. Yue snapped back to reality. How did you know? I tossed a fish to her with disgust. Yue looked at Lu Mingxin and Fang Qing'an, their faces filled with undisguised contempt. As if provoked, Yue shouted angrily, "What's with that look? Do you think I'm disgusting? You must have some shameful hobbies too, right? We're all the same kind of people. What gives you the right to think I'm disgusting?" Lu Mingxin ignored her and turned to help me check the tools for catching pheasants tomorrow. Fang Qing'an hesitated for a long time before saying, "I also have a cat. Every time I come home from work, my cat greets me warmly, no matter how tired I am. When it rubs its head against me, I feel like the world is beautiful. As if I can work a little harder tomorrow." He paused. "You and I are not the same kind of person." Then he added, "And you really are quite disgusting." At that moment, countless cat lovers in the live chat went completely wild. Animal abusers deserve to die a horrible death. I'm so fucking angry. I could kill her. I'm furious, absolutely furious. I'm literally typing this with tears streaming down my face. My little cat is sleeping peacefully beside me, while other kittens are being tortured and killed. What the hell is wrong with these people? I'm crying so hard right now. Go die. I must have been blind to have ever been a fan of Yue, who voted her the nation's sweetheart. More like the cat-torturing sweetheart. Sorry, I was too harsh on Fang Qing'an yesterday. Starting today, I'm a fan. He's so sincere. I'm crying. Wait, isn't anyone a fan of Balon? Suddenly, a barrage of rose-red Balon support-colored text flooded the livestream chat. Who's calling for me? Who is calling me? Yue, for some reason, suddenly lost control of her emotions. She scrambled to her feet and tried to push me, but Lu Mingxin stepped in to block her. She screamed like a madwoman, "Balon, do you think you're so great? What gives you the right to judge me from your high horse?" She frantically kicked our belongings, shouting, "Get out, I found this cave, and you're not allowed to stay here." I just watched quietly as she went crazy. Then I packed up my things. As you wish. Lu Mingxin took the things from my hands and stepped out first. Let's go. Fang Qing'an also chose to come with us. Li Qing and Yue stayed behind in the cave, fighting over and devouring the little food we had left. We stopped at a place of moderate height. I had my eye on this spot yesterday. It's the most suitable for building a log cabin. After I shared my thoughts with Lu Mingxin and the others, they rolled up their sleeves and set off to find tree trunks without a single complaint. I couldn't help but sigh with emotion. Just a few days ago, one of them was a triple-crown film emperor, winning awards left and right. The other was a representative figure of idols transitioning into acting, riding a wave of momentum. Now he's covered in dust, chopping wood for me. Fantasy, too fantastical. While they were looking for firewood, I went to check the traps I had set in the woods that morning. I didn't expect to get lucky this time. There was a wild pheasant. We'll have roasted pheasant tonight. The pheasant wasn't ready yet when a loud gurgling sound broke the silence. Fang Qing'an embarrassedly covered his stomach. "Sorry, I'm too hungry." I skillfully flipped it over. "It'll be ready soon." He glanced at me, his face inexplicably turning a bit red. "I never expected you to be so capable, even knowing how to kill a chicken." "Don't slander me. The trap killed the chicken. I only handled the aftermath." Fang Qing'an smiled. "Li Qing and the others always have to meet your demands when it comes to food. I haven't been much help either. Whatever you ask for, I'll definitely do it." "Those are your own words." I looked him up and down, narrowing my eyes. "I saw the drama you acted in last year. You have a good figure." "I'm a bit curious." Fang Qing'an was taken aback for a moment, then stood up and blushed as he lifted his shirt. "Oh ho, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, not bad, 8-pack. During this entire exchange, Lu Mingxin kept staring at me without saying a word. Later, he left at some point without me noticing. The next time I saw him, he passed by me and casually took off his shirt as if by accident. I glanced at it. "Wow," he said nonchalantly, "my clothes got wet, so I'm drying them by the fire." You." Lu Mingxin raised an eyebrow. "What, me? Be careful not to catch a cold." Lu Mingxin was speechless. The entire barrage of comments couldn't piece together a single pair of underwear. Panting heavily, I want to roll around On my brother's abs, Lu Mingxin doesn't even take off his clothes when filming. You're so lucky, Bei Lan. I really wish I could possess Bei Lan's body right now. Ah, suddenly, I understand the dilemma ancient emperors faced when choosing their beauties. Ha ha ha. Isn't Lu Mingxin just a peacock showing off its feathers? Lu Mingxin is way too obvious. Between Lu Mingxin and Fang Qing'an, who should we choose? Only children make choices. Adults take them all, I don't care. My deep blue CP is real. Bella and Lan are perfect on their own. Okay, originally, building such a cabin by myself would have taken me a full 3 days, but with Lu Mingxin and Fang Qing'an, it took shape by the 2nd day, so we had plenty of time to search for food. This is the 5th day in the wilderness. During the day, I ventured further south and found a few salt-acid fruits, which can help replenish some salt. There was also a large, mature big-fruited fig tree. The fruit was a vibrant orange-red, looking quite appetizing. This was the only dessert I'd had in days. I returned with a full load, but on the way, I spotted a familiar figure. Yue Wei. Her clothes were torn, her hair disheveled, as if she were fleeing from something. She was darting through the dense, intricate forest. When she saw me, it was as if she had spotted a lifeline. She grabbed my arm and cried out, "Save me, please save me, take me with you. I can do anything, I'll work for you, just give me a little food, I beg." I could tell what had happened just from the glimpse of the blue and purple marks on her neck. Although Li Qing had no experience surviving in the wilderness, he at least had the physique of a grown man. It wouldn't be too difficult for him to find something to eat. Yue Wei, on the other hand, was different. If she attached herself to Li Qing, she would have to pay a price, and that price was witnessed by tens of millions of viewers. Although the production team cut the footage in the necessary places, even a fool could tell what had happened. Meanwhile, the number of followers on Yue Wei and Li Qing's Weibo accounts plummeted dramatically. Representative partners issued statements one after another to terminate their collaborations. Major shopping malls and street-side stores quickly removed all promotional posters featuring the two. In contrast, Bei Lan's account, which originally had a mere 2 million followers, gained 10 million new fans overnight. Endorsement offers of all kinds came pouring in. The original company was completely thrown into chaos. The boss stormed into the executive's office, slamming the live broadcast on the computer screen in front of her. "What the hell is going on? What kind of show is this? How dare you let Yue Wei take on a program like this?" Everyone in the company knew that Yue Wei was the boss's little canary. The executive broke into a cold sweat. I'll notify the legal department to contact them right away. The legal team had been working for a long time, only to find out who the real investor behind this variety show was. The boss slumped in his chair. "It's useless. This isn't a variety show anymore," he sighed. "It's just a game for the wealthy families. I didn't plan to care about Yue Wei, but she followed me all the way to the shelter. I tossed out a line, 'If you want to eat, go find it yourself.'" Lu Mingxin ignored her even more, so Yue Wei stuck close to Fang Qing'an without a step to spare. Fang Qing'an, soft-hearted, shared a bit of his own food with Yue Wei. The 7th night in the wilderness, Fang Qing'an came back from checking the fish traps in the river, completely soaked. Upon asking, I found out that Yue Wei insisted on washing her hair by the riverbank and ended up slipping, nearly falling in. Fang Qing'an tried to pull her back but lost his own footing and tumbled into the water. I frowned. "Quickly take off those wet clothes and dry them. Be careful not to catch a cold. What you fear most is exactly what happens." Fang Qing'an developed a fever the next day. Falling ill is the most dreaded thing in the wilderness. I boiled water for him using a clay pot I had made myself, but the fever stubbornly refused to subside. With no other choice, I went to gather some herbs from the nearby area that were known to clear the lungs and detoxify the body. After brewing them, I made him drink the concoction and then placed him near the fire to keep warm. After 5 hours, Fang Qing'an finally broke his fever. Yue Wei said guiltily, "I'll go find him something to eat." Something felt off, so I grabbed her and discovered she was hiding 2 pieces of fruit in her arms. This was Fang Qing'an's food from last night. My anger flared, and I grabbed Yue Wei, ready to confront her. As she struggled, 2 pills fell out of her pocket. Yue Wei's face instantly turned pale. I picked them up before she could. They were 2 ibuprofen tablets. Last night, Fang Qing'an was burning up so badly, yet she never even considered taking it out. Yue Wei stiffened her neck and argued, "This is my medicine for preventing menstrual cramps. Of course, I have to keep it for myself. Is there anything wrong with that?" I handed the medicine to her. "You should just leave." I gave her a cold glance. "I'm afraid that one day I might not be able to hold back and slit your throat. After all, no one would know in this desolate wilderness." Yue Wei feigned pitifulness. pleading for help from Lu Mingxin. Lu Mingxin frowned. Didn't you know? Yue was taken aback. Know what? Lu Mingxin raised his chin toward me. She's the one who slit your throat. I just handed her the knife. Yue pinned her last hope on Fang Qing'an. Fang Qing'an had woken up just moments ago, and now he didn't even glance at her. Get lost. At this moment, the livestream screen was flooded with netizens' condemnation of Yue. Meanwhile, three factions quickly rose to prominence. One was the Bei Lan and Lu Mingxin CP fans, represented by deep blue text. Another was the Bei Lan and Fang Qing'an CP fans, represented by orange text, and there are also Bei Lan solo fans in blue font. The three parties are arguing fiercely. Deep blue CP is real, orange blue is the real deal. My sister stands alone in her glory. While netizens were still buzzing with excitement, the police approached the show's production team for negotiations. They claimed the program format was illegal, demanding an immediate end to the show and the initiation of a case investigation against both individuals. Li Qing was suspected of repeatedly organizing prostitution-related activities. Meanwhile, Yue had her package detained at customs, which contained drugs. Later, the powerful capital behind the variety show stepped in, presenting various proofs to rationalize the program. They scheduled the arrests of Li Qing and Yue for the day the show ended. Netizens were in an uproar. 23. Yue didn't leave. She was still a smart person. Well aware that once she left, our fate would truly be uncertain, so she hid near our shelter, picking up scraps of what we ate each day. Just a week ago, she was still the glamorous national sweetheart. Now she's acting all neurotic, completely unrecognizable from her former self. The cabin also collapsed halfway due to instability. On the 9th night in the wilderness, Lu Mingxin, Fang Qing'an, and I had no choice but to squeeze into the other intact side to sleep. But how to sleep was a problem. Lu Mingxin and Fang Qing'an fought over who would sleep in the middle. No one was willing to give in. The end, I made the decision, I would sleep in the middle. Unfortunately, I don't sleep very well in the middle of the night. Half asleep, I rolled over and draped my arm over someone's waist. In my daze, I thought it was my own pillow and boldly started feeling around. My mischievous hand was suddenly held in place. I snapped awake instantly. Before I could gather my thoughts, someone wrapped an arm around my waist and swapped positions with me. Lu Mingxin held me from behind, whispering in my ear, getting handsy with me. I was speechless. I can explain. This day was designated as the anniversary of the Deep Blue CP. Completely insane. Day 10 in the wilderness. Since we don't know how much longer we'll have to survive out here in the wild, I've decided to gather wood first to repair the shelter. Seeing a tree of just the right thickness, I took out my knife and skillfully chopped down the trunk, handing it to Lu Mingxin. He took it, then suddenly paused. Something's off. What? I walked over and followed his gaze to see a small, dark red glow within the tree trunk. I took a knife and split it open, carving out a small hidden camera. No wonder we hadn't discovered it for so long. The camera was embedded in the tree trunk, with resin filling the gaps around it, making it impossible to detect any abnormality. Just thinking about how many cameras might be hidden in this dense forest, I just felt my hair stand on end. I slowly realized, it seems we've been scammed. Lu Mingxin, obviously. Damn it, a sudden roar echoed from the sky. I looked up to see dozens of helicopters flying over our heads, heading toward the open area. Lu Mingxin and I exchanged a glance before sprinting over frantically. Dozens of media outlets scrambled out of the helicopters, vying for the first interview with us. Bei Lan, the usually sought-after actor Lu was surprisingly left out in the cold. The beaming variety show director rushed over to hug me as soon as he saw me. Congratulations on completing the 10-night wilderness shoot. Welcome back. I punched him in the stomach and, ignoring the media present, started kicking him relentlessly. Go to hell with your congratulations. Lu Mingxin silently reached out and blocked the filming camera. The production team accurately located Fang Qing'an. Upon learning the truth, he first looked utterly bewildered. Did anyone help feed my cat? Only after receiving a positive answer did she begin to cry. You people are truly fucking insane. As for Li Qing and Yue, when they were found, both were in a rather poor mental state. They didn't even know about the hidden cameras. Li Qing, in particular, was crying, laughing, and cursing all at once. Thinking I was finally rescued, he passed by me wrapped in a blanket, glaring at me fiercely. We'll see about this. He had no idea the police were waiting for him at the airport. There probably wouldn't be any chance to wait and see in the future. The journey from the wilderness to City C was spent entirely on the plane. Yue and Li Qing were unaware of the situation outside. Li Qing was still picking and choosing, complaining that the prepared meal was unpalatable. shouting and cursing for someone to get him something to eat. The staff member glanced at him with schadenfreude. Wait until we get there, Mr. Big Star, there'll be something even better to eat, commonly known as prison food. Li Qing flew into a rage. What kind of attitude is this? Do you even know who my father is? How dare you speak to me like this? And Yue even insisted on finding a makeup artist to do her makeup. When we left the airport, she glared at me with an air of arrogance. Beilan, I won't let you have it easy. All I have to do is shed a few tears in front of my fans, and they can cyberbully you until you leave the industry. I just said, I don't believe it. We emerged from the VIP passage of Sea City International Airport. A wave of people surged toward us like a tide. I guess they were probably fans of Lu Mingxin or Fang Qing'an, and was about to dodge them only to see them holding blue support signs, frantically shouting, Beilan, Beilan, I love you, Beilan, look at me, ah, look at me, sister, sister, you're so beautiful. I stood frozen in place. Lu Mingxin took the bag I was carrying. I looked at him, puzzled. A smile played at the corner of his lips as he said, I'm just riding the wave of popularity. Oh, well, aren't you just amazing? Before I was swallowed by the crowd, I saw Li Qing and Yue being intercepted by the police not far away. Fans of the fallen idol, along with the victim's relatives, were wielding sticks and demanding answers. Li Qing's head was directly struck by a stick. He cursed and swore, demanding to see his father. Little did he know, his father's company was being frantically investigated by netizens, who uncovered massive tax evasion and shoddy construction projects. It was already on the verge of bankruptcy. As for Yue, in her desperation, she revealed her improper relationship with the entertainment company's boss, pleading for his help to protect herself. The company directly sued her for defamation, along with breaching her contract. Besides facing prison time, she was also saddled with a huge penalty for breach of contract, effectively ruining her life. But none of this has anything to do with me anymore. Back in City C, I ate a good meal and had a proper sleep. To be honest, those 10 days of survival weren't really torture for me. But the filthy environment of the entertainment industry disgusts me. Li Qing and Yue were arrested. Li Qing's family mobilized significant manpower and financial resources to sue the program team for illegal live broadcasting and unlawful confinement. The program team nonchalantly tossed out a single contract. It was the original signed agreement, which stated that the format of the live broadcast was entirely determined by the program team, with no objections from the artist's side. They had played a game of semantics. There was no way to even file a lawsuit. The live broadcast at the time was even broadcast in dozens of countries, and it has already earned tens of billions to date. Behind it is the country's leading financial tycoon. On the day the PC case went to trial, Li Qing, with reddened eyes, questioned the camera. This live broadcast has ruined my future. The big shot even casually tossed out a line. Your future, it's worthless to me. Do you think I ruined you? No, you're just reaping what you sowed. And me, I became an overnight sensation. My follower count skyrocketed, and my inbox was flooded. Even my old company was begging me to renew my contract. Hundreds of endorsements came one after another. But fame brings trouble. Gradually, another voice emerged online. Have you noticed that after this livestream, Beilan became the biggest beneficiary? Even Lu Mingxin has become her foil. The more you think about it, the more terrifying it becomes. What exactly is the relationship between Beilan and the big shot behind her? The more I think about it now, the more something feels off. How could a female entertainer possibly know so much about wilderness survival knowledge, and all those medicinal herbs? This isn't common sense that an ordinary person would have at all. The more you think about it, the more terrifying it becomes. There's reason to suspect Beilan is holding a script. Scheming bitch isn't called that for nothing. When my best friend indignantly brought these comments to me, I was packing my luggage. What are you doing? I didn't stop what I was doing, obviously, packing my bags. Aren't you going to do something about these comments? Why should I? I'm about to leave the industry anyway, my best friend exclaimed. Holy crap, you're really quitting. Where are you going then? I raised an eyebrow. Sandbar Jungle, even if just as a reward to myself. After resting for a few days, I packed my bags and headed to the Sandbar Jungle. Thus began my month-long solo wilderness survival. I have to say, even the wild mice are more endearing than those filthy people. I brought enough batteries, along with my photography gear, equipment, signal devices. I opened a certain site account that had been gathering dust for 2 years. When I first started the livestream, the number of viewers in the room was sparse. I put the camera on my head and walked deeper into the dense forest, saying as I went, "Hello everyone. It's been 2 years since we last met, and I'm back. This time, I'm in the Shazhou dense forest, starting a month-long survival adventure. During this time, I'll be live streaming at irregular intervals. The number of viewers in the live stream suddenly skyrocketed. Some words scrolled across the screen. Lan Tian, you're finally back. Holy shit, I can't believe I actually get to see you live in my lifetime. I'm rushing over here. Excuse me, is that Beilan? As soon as this comment appeared, several more quickly followed. You really sound like her, even your voice is similar. Show your face, blogger. It must be Beilan, definitely Beilan. Hey, upstairs, stop making random claims. Okay, everyone knows what your idol is really like. She orchestrated a whole live stream to boost herself to the top, and now she's busy cashing in on it. Exactly, who has time to go to this godforsaken place? Stop trying to drag that blogger into this, will you? I didn't see any of those comments. I usually stream one way, I just focus on broadcasting, not on receiving feedback. Thus, I also missed the fact that an account named Deep Sea quietly tipped several million, becoming the top supporter in the live stream room every day. They never spoke, yet they arrived punctually whenever I started streaming. I spent 29 days in the dense forest. On the final day, I lay on the wooden hut I had built, eating roasted chicken and unusually interacting with the live stream audience. To be honest, I don't even want to go back. How about I stay for another 10 days? I sat up with great interest. Type 1 if you agree, type 2 if you don't. As soon as I finished speaking, the screen was flooded with 1s perfect. I was just about to confirm when suddenly, the top supporter dropped in out of nowhere, showering the stream with 22,222 rockets in a row. The live stream fell silent for a moment. Then it erupted into a frenzy. I clicked my tongue and said, well, folks, looks like it's fate. That's all for today's stream. See you next time, if fate allows. I've returned to City C once again. The next day, the hashtag Beilan Lan Tian hashtag shot to the top of the trending list. A fan had conducted a technical comparison of my voice with the one from Lan Tian's livestream. There were also the occasionally visible hands, bearing matching scars, so the whole internet is spreading that I am me. That sounds a bit strange, but there are still people who aren't convinced. It's the die-hard fans of Li Qing and Yu Wei. After hearing that Li Qing and Yu Wei were taken in, the two groups of brain-dead fans couldn't swallow this bitter pill. They formed an alliance with the sole purpose of attacking me. Now they're frantically buying online trolls. Beilan is just a cheap woman who picks fights everywhere. Beilan should die and disappear into oblivion, trying to ride on the coattails of a professional blogger. Do you think they even notice you? Aren't you embarrassed buying your own trending topics? You think taking down Li Qing and Yu Wei will make you famous? Keep dreaming. A thief will always be a thief. Beilan is Lan Tian. That's the funniest joke I've heard all year. I looked at these comments, feeling quite calm inside. To be honest, I didn't want to tie Beilan to that Lan Tian account either. In the beginning, I started streaming on that account purely out of personal interest. I don't want to tarnish my only sanctuary, so I left it at that, but I never expected that my silence would be taken as a sign of guilt. And so, they pushed their luck even further. On the day I went to the company to terminate my contract, I had just stepped out of the building. A large crowd of reporters swarmed toward me. They all started talking at once, asking, Beilan, we heard you're Lan Tian. Is that true? Beilan, can you prove it? I heard you were unilaterally terminated by UT Entertainment, Beilan. And now you're facing a situation with nowhere to go. Is that true? The company released statements claiming you have poor character, along with various pieces of evidence. Do you have anything to explain? I was momentarily stunned. Suddenly, someone stepped in from behind and shielded me from those reporters. A coat was draped over my head, the familiar scent of mint bringing me back to my senses. I saw Lu Mingshan shielding me, calmly and composedly facing those cameras. As for the unilateral termination of the contract, I can answer that on her behalf. Beilan was poached by our company, Deep Sea Entertainment, from UT at a high cost. She is our top artist, and we will invest heavily in her development because I can vouch for her character. He glanced at me. She is the best girl I have ever seen. I was taken aback for a moment, thinking of the top donor, Deep Sea. I couldn't help but wonder if it was just a coincidence. Suddenly, someone in the crowd called out abruptly, you are not Lan Tian at all. Someone can testify to that. Everyone's gaze was drawn over. A round-faced girl wearing glasses was seen glaring at me angrily. then pointing her phone at me. On the phone screen was a live stream, and I recognized the person in it, Kevin, a famous wilderness survival blogger from abroad. We had met on a deserted island in Southeast Asia before and became friends. He had made an appearance in my live stream back then, so he's the only one everyone knows who's acquainted with Lan Tian. The girl looked at me with a hint of schadenfreude. I've been waiting for days and finally managed to snag a live stream slot with Kevin. Do you dare to connect with him? He'll definitely know if you're Lan Tian or not. I sighed inwardly. Are you sure about that? She sneered. You don't dare. I remained expressionless. Go ahead and connect. She quickly opened the video call. Kevin was at the beach. I smiled at the camera and greeted him in English. Long time no see, Kevin. Kevin suddenly leaned close to the camera, looking shocked. Lan, how is it you? He was so excited he started dancing around. I watched your live stream half a month ago. I supported you with gifts, but I couldn't beat that guy called Deep Sea for the top spot. Damn it. I silently glanced at Lu Mingxin. He sure had strong nerves. Not even a flicker of change in his expression. I brushed it off, saying, I've got something going on over here. I'll get in touch when I have time. Kevin replied, that's great. I still remember the Chinese you taught me before. Then he enunciated clearly and said, holy shit. The atmosphere became awkward for a moment. I hung up the call and then looked at the girl. Are you satisfied now? She was at a loss, her face flushed as she ran off. The reporters snapped back to reality and surged forward frantically once more. With Lu Mingxin's help, I got into his assistant's car. No doubt, Weibo is going to crash today. In the car, I glanced at Lu Mingxin. When did you start trying to poach me? He handed over a contract. Now. I glanced at it twice and froze. The gist was that the contract was for 3 years, and whether I wanted to take on roles was entirely up to me. If I take on a role and find it unpleasant, I can leave at any time. The company will back me up. I get 4 months of vacation each year to do as I please. And one last condition, my boss, Lu Mingxin, is at my disposal without question. I looked up at him. Are you sure this is my agency contract? Of course not. This is a deed of servitude. He paused, then smiled. Mine. When I first entered the industry, I truly had a deep passion for it. It's a shame I was later worn down by the company. If I could find a good employer, I think I could put off retiring for a while. Not long after, a movie came knocking on my door. I heard the investor behind it was the big boss who funded 10 Days and 10 Nights in the Wild. It wasn't until I saw the script that I realized this was a survival in the wilderness theme, with the main creative team being top-tier talents in the industry. It was aimed at winning international awards. At the time, Wei and Li Qing had received insider information and submitted their materials for this film, so that variety show was no coincidence. It was more like a test. The backers incidentally made a fortune because of the variety show. I felt a bit uneasy, but I never expected the sponsor to directly increase my pay tenfold, saying that as long as I participated, I could serve as the technical advisor for the team. All wilderness content would be under my full control. If I don't take it, this project will be postponed indefinitely. Once this news gets out, the entire internet will be in an uproar. Even the film director, Yu, who has won numerous international awards, posted on Weibo, awaiting good news. It can be said that they showed the utmost sincerity. In the end, I still agreed. One of the important reasons was that Lu Mingxin was the male lead, while Fang Qing'an was the second male lead. This is the opportunity they deserved after going through so much. The film took 2 years and 6 months to shoot. It became a global sensation on the day of its release. 2 months later, I stood on the international awards stage, dressed in an elegant gown, shining brilliantly, staring at the flashing camera lights before me. It felt as though a lifetime had passed. In the front row sat a middle-aged man wearing a floral shirt. He was dressed so casually, as if he had just wandered in to rest after a long stroll. The award presenter said, I imagine most of you here don't know this gentleman. He is Mr. Wei, the sole investor of 24 Nights in the Wilderness. Miss Beilan, now that you've received the highest honor in the film industry, it wouldn't have been possible without Mr. Wei's recognition. Do you have anything you'd like to say to him? So this is the mastermind behind it all, the one who single-handedly ruined Li Qing and Yu Wei, and the one who single-handedly built me up, commonly known as my benefactor. I smiled as I aimed the microphone. At this moment, all I wanted to say was, you're a fucking genius. The entire hall fell silent for a moment. Mr. Wei smiled and began to clap, and in an instant, thunderous applause erupted. Right by the back door, Lu Mingxin was holding my bag, patiently taking photos of me on stage. A staff member passing by bumped into him. Sorry, the staff member recognized him, her face lighting up with surprise. Lu Mingxin, oh my goodness, Mr. Lu. Are you having trouble finding your seat? Let me show you the way. Lu Mingxin pressed a finger to his lips in a gesture for silence, then smiled. No, I'm not here to receive an award today. He looked toward me on the stage. I looked back under the flashbulbs and couldn't help but laugh. He raised an eyebrow. I'm here to be her assistant. After hearing the story above, what are your thoughts? Feel free to share your opinions in the comments section. Looking forward to hearing from you. If you liked this story, don't forget to like it, share it, and subscribe to my channel. See you next time.